and welcome to Rowan University. Please take a moment to locate the fire exit nearest your seat and aisle. In an emergency, please exit quickly and quietly. Regarding this event, please note the following. Smoking is not permitted in the auditorium or throughout the building. Please disable all cell phones, beepers, or other electronic devices. Food and beverages are not permitted. The use of cameras and recording equipment is strictly prohibited in the auditorium. Thank you for your cooperation. Enjoy the program.
Good afternoon. I'm Tony Lohman, Dean of the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering, and I'm honored to welcome the family and friends of Mr. Henry Rowan, members of the university community, and special guests to celebrate the life of our friend, benefactor, and loved one, Mr. Henry Rowan. To the Rowan family, once again I would like to offer my sincere condolences. We share in your loss. We all mourn the passing of a great man who we knew by different names or relationships. Hank, Mr. Rowan, friend, benefactor, boss, collaborator, partner, grandfather, husband, and dad. And without exception, in each case that I've encountered with all of you who have known him in different ways, I've heard nothing but deep admiration for this great man. So today we're here to celebrate Mr. Rowan's amazing life. We'll hear about his impact on our great university, higher education in our region, from our president, Dr. Ellie Hushman, chairman of the board, Linda Rohr, state senator, Diane Allen, Dr. Phil Timinia, the former executive vice president of University Advancement and executive director of the Rowan Foundation, my fellow dean, John Paston, an alumnus representing the class of 2000, Tom Zanakis, and Kunal Patel, a current student and student trustee. Most importantly, we'll hear from Virginia Rowan Smith, Mr. Rowan's daughter and Board of Trustees member, with remarks from the family. So, I am humbled and I'm honored every time I have the privilege to introduce myself as the Dean of the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering. And today I get to spend a few minutes talking about the impact of Mr. Rowan and how it's changed the life of so many people in so many ways. But I get to focus a little bit on our little College of Engineering just across the way here. So this small startup college grew with Hank, working with the founding dean, Jim Tracy, associate dean, Steve Chin, and our founding chairs, Stu Slater, Ralph Dussault, John Smalls, and T.R. Chandapala. This college made waves in engineering education. It rapidly became a leader in this field. It shot up the rankings and showed other institutions how to do it. Since the start, Dean Tracy has retired to Colorado, and he sends his best regards today for not being able to attend. However, all the rest of this group are still here, still active, and still engaged in growing this great college. So why did all this happen? It happened because Mr. Rowan saw the need for our society to have more engineers. He saw this need well before anybody ever heard the word STEM, ever before the giant buzz around science, technology, and engineering mathematics. Because he saw this need, he decided to do something. And the college across the way is what he did. We established a program that became a model for engineering education throughout the country. Today, the college is still a model, and we're still trying to do it better, and we're still trying to be more transformative. Everywhere I go in this region and talk to our partners in industry, I consistently hear what great students we're producing. And I hear two consistent things about the engineering graduates I go out. The first is, number one, what great technical engineers we produce. The second part is, I think, even more important. I I hear what great leaders and communicators these graduates are. In fact, just yesterday, one of our seniors, Jeff Eaker, testified at the State College Affordability Study Commission. And he spoke about his education and the impact of his education and of his internships and how they affected his college life. The members on this commission commented that this was the best summary on this topic they've heard, and they asked to prepare a video of his testimony for future use. This is a common experience for me that I run about all the time in discussing our graduates and our current students. And these students and these alums bring us great pride because it affirms that we're doing our job right. Yes, we, the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering, train outstanding technical engineers, but we also train leaders of their professions. This is a tribute to the outstanding faculty and staff of the college, but it's also a tribute to the outstanding colleges and schools at our university, that in addition to doing their jobs of developing leaders in their own individual fields, they partnered with us to educate these incredible engineers. And to date, we have produced just over 1,500 of these. Yet with our incredible growth, we stand with nearly 1,200 students currently in Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering. A lot has transpired since this first class has come on board. The new building opened. This new building will soon be our old building. The demand for this program has grown rapidly. Other engineering programs in the region and the country have adopted parts of our curriculum. It's the opportune time for this college to. In fact, it grew so much, it was viewed as such a vital cog for educating students and producing engineers that the state made an investment, validating Mr. Rowan's vision, his passion, and the work of our dedicated faculty and staff, and the quality of our students. With that investment, we're about a year away from opening our new facility and completely renovating our existing Rowan Hall. None of this would have happened without Mr. Rowan's vision. This validation hasn't just been with the engineering schools. We can see the amazing amount of construction anywhere on campus. I think everybody who spends the majority of their time on campus, like our faculty, staff, and students, understand what a great amount of construction it is as it affects our daily lives in trying to fight over parking and move about the campus easily. But we look at this construction. The investment has come with both the state, but also with the private sector. As we watch Holly Point Commons rapidly go up, we watch the new facility for the Rowan College of Building going up. Who could have imagined 3 years ago what Rowan Boulevard looks like now and what it's going to look like in a couple of years? The transformation continues, and this vision that Mr. Rowan set forth a little over 20 years ago is validated daily here on campus and throughout the state and region. If we think in just a short period of time, less than 20 years since the first College of Engineering students enrolled, this college, this little startup, will have transformed from a small regional engineering school with 400 or so students, 32 faculty across 4 disciplines, to a comprehensive, internationally recognized College of Engineering with nearly 1,600 undergraduate students, a full cadre of master's and doctoral students, and nearly 80 faculty spread across 5 disciplines. And Mr. Rowan will always be part of this growth. When we decided to pursue PhD programs in engineering a few years back, the first PhD programs on the campus, we discussed this idea with Mr. Rowan. And his response was, "That sounds like a good idea." And then he provided his support so we could launch the program. When we broke ground on the new building in late 2013, I asked Mr. Rowan if he ever thought what he had done would grow to what it was today and what it was becoming. He looked at me, and he gave me a look, and I had no idea what that look meant, and I had no idea what was coming next. But he said, so matter-of-factly to me, "Of course I did." And of course, I felt immediately like I should have known what the answer was. And he looked at the initial rendering of the brick building that was on the groundbreaking signs, and he made one more comment about the growth of the engineering building, and he said, of course it's going to be limestone, and it will be. So in the last year, when all of these new plans and all of our growth began to come to fruition, Mr. Rowan and his family transformed our college again with our new endowment. And our college now proudly carries the name, the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering. I could stay up here all day, I could tell stories, but I know we want to hear from others who knew him and were impacted by his generosity. But in closing, I did want to share one piece that I found to be the most interesting side of Mr. Rowan when I encountered him. And I felt like I was in a very fortunate position to observe something that many others didn't get a chance to do. So I've gotten to spend time with Mr. Rowan at his home, at his company in Inductive Thurn. But I also spent a lot of time with him here on campus, at a commencement, and at other events such as our groundbreaking. I've watched students, graduates, react to him like he was a rock star. I've seen parents in tears thanking him for what he did for their families. I've seen faculty thanking him and seeking out wisdom from him. Everywhere we would go during these events, he was mobbed, adored, and thanked. But something I learned from being with him, which I found to be so amazing and so impactful. All of the families, all of the students, all of the graduates, all of our faculty, all of our staff who seemed to be in awe in the presence of this great man. What I found was, he wasn't sitting there just soaking up the admiration and accolades. He was actually sitting there, and he was more amazed and honored to be in your presence. And he was more impressed with you and with your achievements. And I got the sense, and I could feel that he was truly humble, that what he had done had created such an impact. And I thought, how do you describe a man like this? And I went through a lot of words. And I thought of all the different things I've heard about him. He was an engineer. He was an innovator. He was our benefactor. He was an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a humanist, generous, compassionate, selfless, humble, intelligent, caring. I can go on with the number of words that I've heard. But as I prepared to address you today at this celebration, the right word hit. And the word that I came up with was hero. And I think it fits in that he took a tremendous risk in investing in Glassboro State. And in doing that, he changed the lives of so many to date, and so many more, and so many thousands more for generations to come. So let's reflect on this thought and the impact of his generosity highlighted in our short video tribute.
What difference can we make with the time that we are given? How many times you must have asked yourself this question in life, in business, and give it. Because of your generosity and desire to share the opportunity that comes with a quality education, you transformed a regional teaching college into the leading university that now bears your name. And today, it is with a heavy heart that we say goodbye. But as we walk through our campus, past the trees that have been here long before our time and will remain long after, we know that it was you who planted the seeds of growth and possibility here that have given so much opportunity to so many who might not have otherwise had the chance. It may have started with engineering, but it's grown and has opened the doors to so much more for the university, its students, and the people in the region. The individual who is treated by the physicians that graduate from our medical schools, her life has been touched by you. The student who can attend a superior institution because it's affordable and close to home, his life is forever changed because of you. The worker whose job was created by Rowan's partnerships, her family's life is a little better because of you. And every year, thanks to your vision and your generosity, more lives will be touched by Rowan. We know we'll see you again, for for in every student that steps onto this campus and enters the world better prepared, you'll be there. In every research lab seeking solutions to the challenges of the world, you'll be there. And in every one of us who isn't satisfied with the status quo, you'll be there to fuel the fire within. You've left quite a legacy, and it's a lot to live up to. But we're up to the challenge. Thank you, Mr. Rowan. We'll miss you.
Video, wasn't it? That was a window in the life of a Renaissance man. And it is true. We do and will see Henry Rowan again in our students, our research, and in all who refuse to be content and who strive to make a difference. Rowan family, on behalf of Rowan University, please accept my condolences on the loss of Mr. Rowan. As you must know, he meant something to everyone in Flieger Hall today. He was an inspiration for me personally and for so many of our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends. He showed what a great mind and a fierce determination could accomplish. He demonstrated how a generous spirit could change a school, its people, and a region for all times. Hank Rowan asked that his contribution be used to create a College of Engineering here. His legacy extends far beyond that outstanding program. Thanks to him, yes, we have graduated exceptional engineers who are industry leaders, college professors, and entrepreneurs and business owners. But he also enabled us to empower all our programs. Just a few years ago, a few years after his gift, we offered our first doctoral program, one in educational leadership, far removed from engineering. In 1992, we enrolled 9,500 students. Today, we have 16,100 and growing. We have grown from 48 degree programs in 1992 to 131 today, and we are planning many more as well. Thanks to his generosity, more donors gave and more elected leaders took notice of our school. That enabled us to expand our research in many fields. And that led to, among other things, Rowan being one of only 2 universities in the nation to have medical schools offering MD and DO programs. Thanks to him, we have now a technology park and 600 acres on the West Campus where we plan to erect our second building this year. Thanks to him, we added more academic buildings and increased housing options. We partner more strongly with our towns and counties. We boast one of the largest building projects in academia with Rowan Boulevard. Thanks to his gift, our school attracts some of the brightest students in New Jersey. We keep students in our state, providing them with a high-quality, affordable education. Increasingly, we are enrolling students from across the country and around the world. Yes, we lost a great man on December 9, but rest assured, his legacy at Rowan University will live on in what this institution provides and in each one of us who makes a difference in our careers and in our communities and in our families. We have been privileged to have known Henry Rowan, witnessed his generosity, and enjoyed the transformation of this university. We will look back and tell the story of Henry Rowan for many years to come with great admiration and affection. And we look to the future. And as we look to the future, I will say what I often say, you ain't seen nothing yet. Indeed, Hank Rowan meant something to everyone in Flieger Hall today. Ginny, Lee, family and friends, as you mourn this loss, I hope you cherish that as well. I hope you take comfort in knowing that his legacy always will be reflected by his school in this program, its graduates, its research, and its contribution to the greater good. And I hope you find joy in knowing that Henry Rowan will long be remembered by those of us who are a part of this great institution.
A little more than 2 decades ago, sorry, wrong page. Sorry about that. Since Hank Rowan passed away last month, I've been picturing him strolling with my late father, Roar. Hank, like my dad, was a man of few words. I can just see engineer and inventor Hank and businessman and banker Bill trying to connect, each talking in his own language. And I can see my father, of course, asking Hank where he banked. Hank would be asking my father if we would finance his new venture. Yes, their careers took them to different places, but their commitments were similar. Both men supported, among other concerns, education in South Jersey. Hank Rowan's support of education forced the nation to take notice in 1992. His $100 million gift was monumental in the fields of education and philanthropy. It was, at that time, the largest single gift ever made to a public institution. The Rowan gift calls people to take notice, locally as well. Hank's gift stimulated so many individuals, foundations, and organizations to give to this university. I didn't know who Henry was in 1992. Truth be told, I didn't even know how to pronounce his name. I thought it was Rowan. But he made me come to know him. You do not ignore a $100 million gift. A little more than 2 decades ago, my father and the William G. Rohr Charitable Foundation board members and I sat back and watched what was transpiring in Glassboro. We wanted to see what was going on and how it would evolve. We wanted insight into how the leaders of the college would handle the Rowan gift, if they even were capable of handling it. Hank's gift was a direct inspiration for our foundation to donate through the years. It was Hank Rowan who made me sit back and say to myself, what does he see that I do not see? What does he know that we do not know? What is in his water that's not in my water? I said to myself, I want to have some of his water, because whatever is in his water, I'm going to drink it and I will follow him wherever he goes. This man made a $100 million gift, and in our eyes, it was a risk. And he took that risk, and everyone here has since benefited. And as a result, our foundation donated, among other gifts, the first $1 million in 1995. We also donated $10 million in 2005. The initial gift went to establish the first endowed chair in the College of Business. The $10 million went to fund a wide range of initiatives in that college, since named for my father. Hank Rowan opened my eyes to the gem that was once a small state teachers college close to peach orchards. He opened my eyes to what was happening just 30 minutes from my home and my business. He made me realize that our foundation's gifts to what, he made me realize our foundation's gifts to what became Rowan University would be used well to educate New Jersey students and to build our economy right here in South Jersey. Hank's gift and the gifts it spurred expanded horizons in this school and enhanced opportunities for its students and for the area. A man who I'd never heard of before 1992 had more of an impact than he ever could have imagined. Hank is gone, but his legacy lives on. It lives on at Rowan University, and it lives on in his family and friends. His shoes will be tough to fill, but the university community members, just like you, Ginny, and your family, are committed to honoring what Hank started and to preserving his legacy. As chairman of the Rowan University Board of Trustees, it has been my honor to speak to you today, and more important, it is my honor to work with Rowan University to ensure our institution honors the vision of Henry M. Rowan. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Senator Diane Allen, and I am someone who has known the Rowan family for probably more decades than I'll admit to. I think that Henry Rowan was an original. I don't believe I've ever met anyone like him, and I rather doubt I will ever meet anyone like him in my future. He was a man of great character, and in fact, he was a character. There was this dichotomy where he was a staid industrialist, but also a passionate person on education. He believed deeply in giving and making a difference, and yet he was also a very successful businessman. Sometimes it was hard to put those pieces together. I remember back in 92, and if you have one of these, you'll see that there's a picture of him being interviewed. The woman interviewing him used to be me, many years and pounds ago. But I remember that he was not really impressed with what he had done. He was not seeking the spotlight. He was simply doing the right thing, and doing it rather quietly. He's a man who knew his own mind, who believed in self-reliance, rugged self-reliance in some respects. He was someone who understood how important it was to follow your moral compass and do the right thing. When I look at his legacy, we're all talking legacy up here, I can remind myself as to what the governor said. Governor Christie said his commitment to higher education will have a lasting effect on New Jersey, and it will. There's no question. His commitment to education on many levels in this state was amazing. I think of everybody that he's touched, and young people who perhaps didn't have the same options before Henry Rowan, and then did and took advantage of it, will have much better lives. He believed in our young people. He believed in giving them a chance, and so many have been able to take that. I think that his resources are what many will call a legacy, but I think his legacy is a little bit different. And I'd like Ginny Smith to start making her way up here. I think his legacy is more along the lines of setting a bar for the rest of us. Now, those of us who have perhaps been able to take advantage of the education or are part of his greater network of close friends or so on, maybe can see this as a legacy, but every one of us can do this. We can all look at what he did and what he was, more importantly. Not in terms of donating money, although goodness knows every one of us should be doing that and following that, but in terms of the person that he was. It took me a long time to understand that in Henry Rowan, because he is a very quiet person in many respects. He called himself a loner. And yet I look out and see all of these friends here. You're not alone, Hank. We're here. And he has friends all through the state of New Jersey. But we can look at the beacon of his life and understand that those of us who believe in self-reliance, but at the same time believe in reaching out a hand to help somebody step up, well, we're doing Hank's work. It is something for us to aspire to, every one of us. Not easy. He made it look easy, but it is not. But the state of New Jersey understands that he is somebody who is so special to us. I have a resolution from the state, which you're going to be pleased to know I'm not going to read. But it is something that we think that the family should have, because Hank was an original, and we're thankful that he's New Jersey's original.
Thank you for inviting me, President Wishman. I appreciate being here. All of you have heard many things about Henry Rowan today, and many of you know of his many accomplishments. He received awards for engineering, for his business success, for his philanthropy. He was extremely important to what happened at Glassboro State College and now Rowan University, and you all know about that. I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to take you all back to the 80s. Some people would like to still live in the 80s, but I'm talking about the 80s, and I'm talking about Glassboro State College, and I'm talking about a new president named Herman James. We had a team of Herman James, Tom Gallia, Larry Reeder, Christy Faison, I think, was involved with this, Jack Collins, name that you might remember. And we had a goal, and our goal was, all of us, to transform Glassboro State College into a regionally prominent, high-quality residential undergraduate institution. And that's what we wanted to do. We didn't know how to do it, but that's what we were going to do. The fundraising world was totally different. Today, Dr. Wishman was talking about the millions of dollars that come in research grants, the personal gifts that have occurred. All colleges in the state of New Jersey are calling, and all you have to do is have your phone ring, and you know it's your alumni association asking for money. We've all been through all that. That was not the way it was. The fundraising was done by the Ivy Leagues, the Big Ten, and the major publics. The major publics. We were at Rowan we started our fundraising program in 1984. By 1990, we had about $500,000, I believe, in our endowment. The only school in the country that had received a major gift of above $100 million was Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a gift from the Woodruff family, and the Woodruff family owned Coca-Cola, and they gave a gift of shares of Coca-Cola to the Woodruff to Emory University with the restriction that they could never sell it. So they lived off the money that came from the stock. I know that because I talked to Emory, and that's what they were telling me about. But for 13 years, from that gift in '79 until June of 1992, if someone asked the question, who received a gift of $100 million in this country, the only answer was Emory University. And then in July of 1992, Henry and Betty Rowe gave Glassboro State College, in the form of cash and stock, a gift of $100 million. Did you think it changed the world? You're damn right it did. We were thrilled, and we were now have a way of getting to our goal. That's what we were trying to do. None of this happens without Henry and Betty and Manny and Jimmy. They all were part of this. We received the gift. I started calling my colleagues and finding across the country to find out, okay, how do you invest? How do you do all these different things? And to a person, they all said to me that gift has energized public and private colleges across the country into fundraising. All institutions, even a school in Glassboro, New Jersey could get a major gift. Therefore, all institutions were looking to secure a major gift. The fundraising landscape in this country changed, and it changed significantly. I was sitting in Hank's office one day, and he handed me a letter, and the letter probably, he got it from Julia Grayholtz, so I know is in here today, who was his secretary. And the letter was from somebody named Ambassador Walter Annenberg. Many of you know who I'm talking about. Ambassador Annenberg wrote to Hank, and he said in his letter, he congratulated Hank Rowan on his groundbreaking gift to Glassboro State College. But he also said something else, which I think is very significant today. He said that Hank Rowan set a national standard for higher ed philanthropy that others would be challenged to emulate. There was a great deal of discussion, publicity, and everything else around this gift. Many people who are in this room, who are on our various boards, know about this. What happened next was very surprising. From July of 1992 until the end of that decade, 20 gifts of $100 million or more were given out in this country. One of them, by the way, was Ambassador Walter Annenberg writing a check, a cash gift to the University of Pennsylvania. There were other gifts. And the important thing here is it was to private and public schools. Places like Cornell, NYU, University of Mississippi, University of North Dakota, Princeton, MIT, USC, and, oh, I forgot, Harvard. From July of 1992 until December of 2015, there were approximately 175 gifts of $100 million or more given to both public and private institutions. Ambassador Annenberg, I believe, was correct. Henry Rowan set the national standard and was the catalyst for all of these major gifts. The Rowan gift absolutely led to many others. Henry Rowan was a leader in induction furnaces, but he also became a leader in higher ed philanthropy, and I can assure you that he just never thought about doing it that way. All of higher education owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to Hank Rowan and his family. All higher education benefited from the gift of philanthropy that occurred at this institution. When talking about leaving a legacy of helping others, Henry Rowan certainly accomplished a great deal with that gift of $100 million to a little school in South Jersey. Thank you, Hank Rowan, and God bless you.
Good afternoon. I'm John Paston, Dean of the College of Performing Arts. Shortly I will be introducing our musical selection, so I beg your indulgence while we rearrange the stage slightly. And at this time I would like to invite all of our guest speakers on stage to the seats that we have reserved for you in the concert hall. Ushers, if you will. Thank you. I'm honored to speak on behalf of every student and faculty member in the College of Performing Arts. We are so grateful to Henry Rowan and the entire Rowan family, and we are honored to participate today in this celebration of Henry Rowan's life. As we continue to reflect on his vision and how we have all benefited from the generosity of the Rowan Foundation, I'm reminded of the musical Candide, written by the late Leonard Bernstein, and in particular, a song in the final act entitled, "Make Our Garden Grow." Now, while this selection is a love ballad, the title is exactly what Henry Rowan did for us. He enabled us to make our garden grow. I can mention many outstanding performances that we have accomplished, where through the generosity of the Rowan family, we were able to add so much more to each of them. I think, though, the most important outcome for the College of Performing Arts is that we are able to exemplify the word quality with every production. And we have increased our visibility nationally, internationally, with local arts communities and on campus like no other time in our history. So as I wanted to keep my comments short this afternoon, there's no better way for us to reflect than through a magnificent musical work performed by our own Rowan students, our university orchestra, and the voices of our concert choir. To Henry Rowan, Lee, Ginny, Manning, and the entire Rowan family, thank you for helping us make our garden grow.
For Good afternoon. My name is Tom Zanakis, and it's an honor to be here to celebrate the life of Henry Rowan. As I look around the campus today, it's unrecognizable to the campus that I first set foot on 20 years ago as a freshman, part of the first class of engineers. Rowan Hall, as Dean Logan called now the old hall, the engineering building wasn't even built yet. It wasn't until my sophomore year that was actually completed. And now another new chapter is beginning with the new engineering building under construction. My journey here started with a gift from Henry Rowan, a gift that built a top-notch engineering program. I was fortunate enough to be accepted into the first class of engineers. And being in the first class, there were many unknowns, but there were also many opportunities. See, everyone in the first class was offered a four-year full tuition scholarship as long as you maintained a certain GPA. However, it came with some risks as the school was not yet accredited, so your credits wouldn't transfer to another school. So most of the first class had this entrepreneurial spirit to choose Rowan in the first place. And that spirit would only grow and be nurtured in the years to come. But as I came to learn of Henry Rowan's dedication to excellence, failure for the new engineering program was not an option. Rather than your typical weed-you-out environment where at orientation they would say, look to your left, look to your right, only one of you is going to make it to graduation, the learning environment here was fantastic. The professors came from all over the country to be here, part of something new. They were all very approachable. They were invested in making sure that we understood the material and often went the extra mile whenever it was needed. And this included Dean Tracy, Dean of the Engineering College at that time, who I was able to have several lunches with to talk about how things were just going. But a big part of the core fabric that would define the Rowan engineering experience was the engineering clinic classes. We had an engineering clinic class every semester for all 4 years. This is where we learned how to critically think to solve problems, but not just in a theoretical realm, but in its application, in a hands-on experience where we actually got to build things. Moving into our junior and senior year, we were encouraged to design and develop new products, perform market assessments, build business plans, fostering that entrepreneurial spirit. I also learned how to work collaboratively on a multidisciplinary team. That meant that mechanical, electrical, civil, chemical engineers had to work together on a team, taking turn leading, but also learning to be a role player as part of a team. Little did I know then how these critical skills would be put to use day in and day out throughout my career. Spring forward to today, where I'm now the Vice President at Concord Engineering in Voorhees, New Jersey, right here in South Jersey, leading a team of about 30 engineers in our Building Solutions Department. We design mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection systems for buildings. And it's really come full circle for me, as I was fortunate enough to be the engineer of record and lead our team in the design of the building, in the design of the systems for the new College of Business School being built right here on campus right now. Over the past few years, I've also had the privilege of being part of the Dean's Advisory Committee, being able to give back to the college and providing perspective from the industry. Our firm has been able to recruit and hire several Rowan engineering graduates over the last few years. This is my story, but it's just one story among the hundreds of thousands of others that would not be possible without the gift of Henry Rowan. So thank you, Mr. Rowan, and thank you to the whole Rowan family. But not just for the monetary gift, but the gifts that carry on today. The gift of putting a humble state school on a trajectory that nobody could have imagined, becoming a major research university, and a driving economic force in the region. The gift of his entrepreneurial spirit. The gift of his dedication to excellence. The gift of his leadership. The gift of being a Rowan engineer. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Kunal Patel, a senior biochemistry major and a student trustee for Rowan University's Board of Trustees. I am deeply honored and humbled to have the chance to honor Mr. Rowan here today. It's difficult to capture the essence of a person's life in words. It's even harder to do so for such a giant of a man. Someone who has impacted countless lives and through his generosity transformed a small teaching college into a comprehensive research institution. Given the legacy that he left, the scope of his accomplishments, and the adoration that he so rightly deserves, it would be easy and fitting to remember Henry Rowan as an icon, a man larger than life. But Mr. Rowan, a humble man, grounded by rock-solid values, wouldn't want to be remembered that way. I had the honor of meeting Mr. Rowan for the first time, unveiling his statue outside Savitz Hall. I was a freshman, but quite aware of his importance. Being in the presence of the man who the university was named after, especially on the 20-year anniversary of the most important gift in Rowan's history, I was nervous to even approach him. I remember that day vividly. In the eyes of the students, Mr. Rowan was a celebrity. Students were crowding around him, thanking him, and taking selfies with him. I too was one of those students. I approached him and said, "Thank you, Mr. Rowan, for all that you've done for this university. For even as a freshman, I understood without his generosity, I wouldn't be attending this university here today." Mr. Rowan smiled from ear to ear. "I didn't do anything special," he said with unparalleled humility. "I simply did what was right." While my conversation with Mr. Rowan was brief, I knew Mr. Rowan loved and adored the students as much as we loved and adored him. Mr. Rowan showed us the power of action, of taking risks on behalf of our ideals. In 1992, nobody could have imagined what then Glassboro State, now Rowan University, could have become. But Mr. Rowan did. It was Mr. Rowan's belief in education and in people that allowed him to see that, if given the opportunity, Glassboro State could achieve what he envisioned. Opportunity in education is about more than getting into a good college and landing a job once we graduate. It is about having the opportunity to gain the knowledge and skills to become the best version of ourselves that we can be. Because of Mr. Rowan's love in education, Rowan students today understand the true meaning of education. By example, he taught us that nothing is beyond our reach if we're willing to work hard, stay focused, and dream big, and I mean very big. As we gather here today to celebrate his life and legacy of an extraordinary man, I'm comforted that Mr. Rowan's legacy will live on longer than anyone here today. For every student who attends Rowan University will carry it on. Mr. Rowan gave us extraordinary opportunities. It's now our turn as students, alumni, and members of the university community to live by his example, to use our own talents to dream big and lead lives of value, of purpose, and of service of others. From a proud and grateful student body, thank you, Mr. Rowan, for the lessons you've taught us, for the opportunities you have given us, and for the legacy you have left us. We are forever grateful. Thank you.
Now, I'd like to take time for a special tribute from one of the people here who knew Henry Rowan best, his daughter, the chairman of inducted term, and Rowan Board of Trustees member, Virginia Rowan.
What a wonderful tribute the university has given today for its benefactor, its namesake, my dad, Henry M. Rowan. Thank you all for your kind words, your thoughtful recollections, your warm condolences. So many of you here in the audience have shared your memories, your stories of Dad. And you convey them to us through cards, through letters, university communications, on the website, articles, newspaper articles from our friends in the media, through words heard today from our esteemed speakers. And also, it's a special to receive a resolution from the state of New Jersey. Thank you, Governor Christie, and thank you, Diane Allen. The university has arranged, many of you may not know this, for this celebration of life to be live streamed around the world through a private channel so it can be seen around the world. I'm particularly pleased because it means that our employees in 21 different countries around the world are with us now. Hello, all of you out there. All of you around the world, we appreciate so much your heart-given response to the news of Mr. Rowan's death. Please know that in your cards, your letters, your emails, your articles, even your artwork, you have said more than you can know. Your memories of my father and your wonderful, wonderful stories will be treasured by all of us in the Rowan family. When Dad gave the gift, he requested that the college here establish a school of engineering, a full-fledged school of engineering covering the whole spectrum of engineering. He often said, we don't just need more engineers, we need more great engineers. Dad was a perfectionist. He called himself a dissatisfied perfectionist because he rarely felt satisfied with the way things had been done before. It was his true belief that satisfaction is the enemy of progress. Henry Rowan was all about excellence. You've heard it from the other speakers as well. He believed that no matter what one endeavored to do or to be, that he or she should strive to be the best, the very best. He never accepted something as being pretty good. In fact, he hated the phrase. He said, if pretty good does not mean excellent, then of course it's not excellent. And then it's not good enough for him. And he expected excellence from everyone, but even more so from himself. He was really happiest when he was creating something new or improving upon the design of a piece of machinery, not just improving it for the sake of innovation, but for the sake of its becoming faster, better, more efficient, safer. Indeed, improving it so that it would be the best that it could be. Now, does that ring a bell? There are examples of being the best in every facet of his life. In his spare time, he raced star-class sailboats. Some of you heard this at the other memorial. The starboat is not an ordinary sailing vessel. It is a sophisticated racing machine, the speed of which is determined by the angle of the sails, the angle of the boat, the angle of the hull, the angle of the wind, the compass. And it was important because, it was important to him because sailboat racers are champions. Winning sailors are focused on the speed of their boat. They win and become champions because they study these angles. They study the boat. They study their boats. They study the wind. Their boats are also in top condition. Sails are trimmed, state-of-the-art hardware is oiled and working. Shrouds are adjusted to the exact right tension for weight, and their weight is balanced, all for maximum speed. A race can be won by as little as an inch, with the winner finishing less than a second ahead of the next boat. So the best racers, the champions, are those who fine-tune their boats to the nth degree. They know how to make the continual adjustments. Dad read everything he could to learn about sailboat racing, and he applied it. And he learned all that he could from the experts, the world champions. And most important, he measured himself against those champions when he and his son-in-law participated in the Olympics in 1992, the Olympic trials, I should say. And you'd find this amusing too. He even insisted before every race on wet sanding the bottom of the boat so it would have even more speed. And that's the essence of Dad when it comes to every facet of his life. I lengthened that one a little because it shows all of the aspects which he addressed and felt were very important. And he was a winner. He was also a farmer. You've heard that. He was constantly repairing and redesigning farm equipment on the property, which he used during his other spare time to raise sheep and to raise the crops that went along with keeping the sheep alive. Some of you read in the bulletin today that he started with chickens. I guess he graduated to sheep. He loved to fly, and he liked well-designed planes, which were fast, so he could save hours in the day to see his customers, fast so he could get to where he wanted to go faster than everyone else. He loved flying his Learjet, and he insisted that the plane be in perfect condition at all times. Excellence. He loved to share what he knew with people, always instructing and teaching all of us a better way of doing things, no matter what we were doing. He was a quintessential teacher who believed that perseverance, determination, innovation, taking risks, excellence, etc. were very important themes, whether it be for business, sailboat racing, solving algebraic word problems, for understanding basic physics, handling finances, learning to fly an airplane. I could go on, and so could all of you, because I know you have been the recipient of that teaching, everyone who knew him. You've seen photographs in the Rowan magazine of Mr. Rowan's visiting classes at the College of Engineering at Rowan, now called the Henry and Rowan College of Engineering. He answered questions, he shared his knowledge. He was in touch with the school and its programs, and he truly enjoyed meeting directly with the students. He was a natural teacher. He loved asking questions of young engineers, questions to which he often already knew the answer. Some of you knew that as well. But in order to challenge them, he loved challenges himself, and he believed that the best engineers were those who enjoyed challenges as well. Founding his company, he became a leader in the field. Building a legacy, there's that word, in the form of a strong international company. Inductotherm, the best in the world in its industry. At Inductotherm, hundreds of people around the world have benefited from his teaching, The success of Inductotherm proves that his insistence on innovation, on making Inductotherm's melting and thermal processing equipment the very best, as well as his strong belief in the unlimited capacity of individuals to achieve. All of that formed a conviction that worked. And that's why he took the risk of investing in a small state college in southern New Jersey. He believed that if he gave them the means, the individuals at Rowan, faculty, staff, students, they all would, if they put enough effort into it, build that engineering school, make it one of the best programs in the nation, and transform the entire college into the amazing university that it is today. He knew, because he believed in them, and just look what has taken place. Dad's story is a revealing lesson for all of the students in the audience and out there around the world, because it shows what each of you is capable of. As you go out into the world, as you work here at school, and then go out in the world and mold your career. Believe in yourself, persevere in what you set out to do. Be determined to be the best in your field or your endeavor. Take careful risks as they are demanded of you. Simply put, strive for excellence, strive to be the best that you can be, strive to squeeze every hour out of every day, follow Mr. Rowan's lead, and I expect you will find that you will be successful too. His example will continue to be a challenge for all of us at Rowan University, all of us at Inductotherm, all of us in Southern New Jersey. Reach for the stars, set goals, have high expectations, and follow Mr. Rowan's legacy. Continue always to strive for excellence. He is no longer with us, and we miss him. And now it's up to all of us here, and all of us whom he has touched. We need to ensure that his legacy and his spirit lives on forever, because that is what he would have wanted us to do. Thank you for being here, and thank you, university and friends, for all that you have done to honor and celebrate the life of Henry M. Rowan, my dad.
I'd like to thank all of our speakers for all the words and the sentiments and thoughts today. On a day like this, celebrating the life of Mr. Rowan and the impacts of his visions. From the university community's perspective, from the community as a whole, from his family, I think we can all take solace in the fact that Mr. Rowan's generosity has created a legacy that will positively impact thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives for generations to come. To our guests in and out of the Rowan community, we thank you for joining us today to celebrate the life of our benefactor and friend, Henry M. Rowan. And for all of our guests, I invite you all, if you haven't done so already, to please go to the theater lobby, sign our guest book for the Rowan family, and add your contributions to the tribute display. To the family, to the Rowan family, speaking on behalf of Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering and Rowan University as a whole, we are humbled and honored to have the opportunity to carry on the legacy of Henry M. Rowan. We understand with a great opportunity comes great responsibility, and we do not take this lightly. We will never be satisfied, and we will always strive for excellence. And Ginny, I'm going to borrow from what you said towards the end of your remarks. And I'm going to take a quote from a great man, a true hero, who once said, "I've never been content with the status quo. I've never said to myself that this is the best we can do. In fact, to my way of thinking, satisfaction has always been the enemy of progress." I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and this concludes our program.
Yeah, so